if you find that you're struggling with attracting the right people into your life, you might work on your personal magnetism. So, all of us have magnetism, and sometimes we don't really access it or really grow it to use to create connections and ultimately to benefit other people. That's the best way to increase your magnetism. Not so much for personal gain, but to be able to positively influence others and bring people into your circle so that you can provide whatever you can provide to them. So, some of the ways to increase your magnetism is first to just develop more of your sense of confidence. So sometimes our mind focuses on the areas where we aren't confident, and then we feel kind of perplexed, like it seems almost insurmountable. So, what I encourage you to do is really start to connect to the places where you actually are confident. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, you don't need to start from nothing, but really moving your mental energy into the places where you feel confident, and then adjusting your life so that you're using those places that you feel confident. Now, next, having just generally positive energy and being generally positive can also bring people into your kind of magnetic pool. So, again, this doesn't mean be positively like toxic, but being able to encourage people, being able to connect to this belief that people can change. Sometimes we get difficult people in our life, or maybe a friend or a family member that we put all this energy into and we don't see change. And so we can start to kind of weaken our energy by thinking, maybe no one can change. Maybe everything's hopeless. Now, next, being authentic. So, working on figuring out who you are underneath all of the demands of your life and figuring out a way to bridge that so that you're kind of showing up like you everywhere that you go. All of us have different masks, and those are important to have, but it becomes really helpful to learn how to develop a way of being that you can bring to every situation, whether it's work or home or with friends or out in the community. Maybe you help the community. Now, finally, actively engaging with people is really important. Sometimes when I'm walking down the street, I'll just smile at someone, and sometimes it's helpful, but sometimes people look a little terrified, like they're in their zone, and here I am smiling. So, creating more active engagement, reaching out to people with no pressure. Most people feel very pressured by their social connection, so we don't want to add to that. But using these tools can really help you to increase your magnetism and be able to really help people and bring the kind of connections that you long for into your life.